Okay, a lot of things in the movies are extremely cringy, and why is the entire first movie blue? Like addicting. Like I can just sit here and just read this book cover to cover because I annotate every single book I read.
It's really fun. It feels like this right here. You can
So patient. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah. Welcome to one of the videos that was actually recommended to me, and I think that it's such a good idea. I've been trying to get through my TBR for the entirety of 2024, like my physical TBR. I don't really want to buy too many more books that are going to sit on my shelves for months and months and months. I've also been trying hard to get through my monthly TBR. So I do a monthly TBR every month. We're using an advent calendar, the TBR prompts, and a random number generator this year, and I think it's been a lot of fun, and I look forward to filming it and seeing all the new books that are on my like immediate TBR for that month. I also have been trying to get through a bunch of series that I started and not finished. A lot of the books on my monthly TBR that are also my physical TBR are also series that I'm trying to get through. Someone said, hey, why don't you do a monthly video of you reading the series books from your monthly TBR? That way you can get through your series, you can get through your physical TBR, and you can get through your monthly TBR. And I was like, that is such a good idea. That is what this video is. This is gonna be from last month. This is gonna be from March. The first book that we've already started, and I am surprisingly very much enjoying. I took off the dust jacket because I hate the dust jacket. But it's Midnight Sun, which is the 5th Twilight book. And it is Twilight, the first book from Edward's perspective. I am diving back into my like middle school, high school self in reading this book. And fun fact, I don't know why, but Twilight's been like happening on my social media lately, and my friends are rewatching the Twilight movies, like ironically. That just like made me like, wait, this is actually so much fun to get back into that world, even if you're like, okay, a lot of things in the movies are extremely cringy, and why is the entire first movie blue? I never read Midnight Sun, but I got this when it came out in 2020. I am currently on page 110, chapter 5, and I'm actually really liking it. I forgot that I actually do genuinely enjoy Stephenie Meyer's writing. Yes, some of the things that she writes about are very cringy, but I feel like her writing is really good, in my opinion. Like I have some little tabs of like quotes I like, and it's interesting because like this is Twilight from Edward's perspective, and we kind of see throughout the whole entire Twilight saga that Edward, you know, it talks like he's from a different time, and she kind of made this, I never read Dracula, but it feels like kind of Dracula to me. Like Edward's voice in this book is very, yeah, like old-fashioned and old school, and he's viewing himself as a monster and him versus the monster. And if you put aside the cringe factor, it's actually very good writing. That is gonna be our first book we're reading, Midnight Sun. Then I'll go into our next couple books that we're gonna be reading for our continuing series. This is gonna be fun. I'm excited. Good morning. Well, afternoon. Welcome to a new day though. I ended up taking a break from Midnight Sun, and I've been reading the next series book, Bad Blood. I am on chapter 27, page 153. This is the last book in the Natural series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Oh, pillow just moved my camera. Yeah, I read the first Naturals book in one of my continuing series vlogs, which is really full circle moment for us. It follows 5 teenagers who all have like a natural ability of some sort. One's a natural profiler, one's a natural lie detector, one's a natural emotion reader, and one's a statistician. They basically help the FBI solve cold cases. From the beginning, we've been sort of leading up to what Bad Blood is about. The All In and Bad Blood, the 3rd and 4th book, are sort of around the same mystery, I guess. Even though it's a large book, I feel like I could read it the same amount of time that I can read like a 300-page book, just because it's that fast-paced. Like addicting. Like I can just sit here and just read this book cover to cover. I decided to take a break from Midnight Sun and start this. Cassie's mother disappeared before the first book of the Naturals even happened, and then we've sort of been leading up to this where we're figuring out all of the context and all of the circumstances around Cassie's mom's disappearance. Jennifer Lynn Barnes is a genius. The way that she just has these like clues and hidden meanings, like from the very beginning, that all leads to like the very last page, and just things that I would not even think of. Like I feel like it's low-key like an escape room, trying to figure out some of the clues that she like peppers throughout here, and it's so fun and so entertaining, and I love it. It's definitely picking up. So yeah, we're gonna keep reading some of Bad Blood.
At least this is an okay barn for running into you. It's an awful house, and I wanted to get you out. I'm working on a plan right now to come through.
Reading.
Okay, so you're just chilling though?
Yep, just chilling.
Oh, nothing feels the same without you now. I've waited for a lifetime for you to calm down, 'cause nothing feels the same without you now. What's the point in dreaming if I lose my voice? The second I get caught by you, I wanted you to know that I'm afraid, but we can make it go away.
Hello, everyone. But hi, it's a new morning. We're here to talk about the books of this continuing series vlog. I want to preface it with saying that I have been in such like a weird, I don't know if you call it like a slump, but I've been in such like a weird reading period where I have like 6 books that I've been like opening and reading a chapter at a time, or a couple of chapters at a time, just like for the past few weeks, and like there's no one book that I'm really like sticking to. I just like, I don't know what I want to read, or like I think that I'm in the mood to read one thing but then I don't like it, and it's just I don't know. So it's been a weird reading situation, but we are still going to try to continue this reading vlog and finish our series on our March TBR. I finished Bad Blood. In the very back it has the little novella 12, which I knew was like the little ending epilogue type novella, but I didn't know that it was in the back of Bad Blood. It's like 120 pages, so we finished 12 as well. So we're just going to consider that being completely finished with the Natural series. I ended up getting this book like I think a 4.5. I really enjoyed it. I feel like they ended off the story very well. The one thing where it's not getting that 5-star rating that so many other people have given it is because it's a mystery. It's a very convoluted type mystery. There's a lot of different reveals that need to happen to get to the end and what happens. Jennifer Lynn Barnes kind of wrapped it up very quickly. What they've been working for the whole series to get to, she kind of wrapped up in a few chapters. I feel like it was kind of quick, and I feel like that I would have liked that to be more of a story instead of like all the build up. So that's why I said a 4.5 instead of like a 5-star. But I highly recommend the Natural series. I loved my entire time reading this series. So addicting, it's so fast paced. Jennifer Lynn Barnes, I love the way that she writes and how she is a mastermind, and things from the first book are mentioned in this book in the very last chapters or throughout the rest of the series. It's just so good, and I have grown attached to our main characters, our five? Yeah, I think it's our 5 little teenagers that helps the FBI. That is why I decided to keep reading to finish the novella 12. I loved that we had that novella because it gave you a chapter of a point of view of each of the Naturals. Some of the stories of the kids, like the backstories, we know very well, and some we just kind of been alluded to throughout the whole series. You get like a glimpse into what their past exactly was. It gave me a sense of completion, and I just liked learning about everything that the kids dealt with. And also I just realized it's all from the perspective of when every single one of them is 12, and it's called 12. I just realized that. Then we have been reading Midnight Sun, and we got to chapter 7, page 142. I am reading this very slow, and I think it's because like I know the Twilight story and I read all the books, and it is interesting to see it from Edward's perspective, but I feel like it's like kind of longer than I thought it would be. Like it's not as like fast paced as I remember the Twilight series being. Like it's very more like introspective and him talking about this, that, and the other and telling you things that you kind of already know because you read the whole series. So I'm definitely gonna finish this book, but I don't want to force myself to finish it in the amount of time that to put out this video to finish our March TBR. So we are moving into our April TBR. If you have not seen my April TBR video, that went out a few days ago. Because this is a continuing series of books on my monthly TBR, we can include some April books. So the book that I chose is Legendary. This is one of the books that we picked in that April TBR video. This is the second book in the Caraval series, and I decided that I want to start reading this book. And I just remember Caraval being super fast-paced and super addicting, and I love Stephanie Garber's writing. It's just so magical and fairy tale-esque, and it's a night circus, and I really want to see the rest of the story that we get in Legendary. So I decided we're going to pick up this book for the rest of this reading vlog, and then we'll read Midnight Sun in between every now and then. But right now we are going to open up Legendary.
I hope you hear the things I say when I'm choked up next.
It's so pretty. Like, all of her chapter breaks and the beginning title pages are just so pretty. Got a little map. Interesting. I'm about to make some people mad. I flip over my book. It's just easier to read like this.
I've waited for a lifetime for you to come down, 'cause nothing feels the same without you now. And all my friends are wasting time, and I'm afraid I'm wasting mine. But if you talk to me again, it'd be worth it. All my friends are wasting time, and I'm afraid I'm wasting my whole life trying to be something I can't. I've waited for a lifetime for you to calm down, 'cause nothing feels the same without you now. I've waited for a lifetime for you to calm down, 'cause nothing feels the same without you now.
Hello. Hi. So I literally just woke up and took a shower. I needed to come on and talk about this book because it got so good last night. Suddenly got like super into Legendary. I'm on chapter 14, page 136. Oh my god, I literally had to stop and like read a few passages to my boyfriend because I was like, I forgot how amazing and immersive and descriptive and vivid that Stephanie Garber's writing was, because some of the ways that she describes this place that they're on Valenda, and that is where this second book in the series takes place, and the way that she describes the parties and the settings is just beautiful, and I'm there. Like, I feel like I am there, and it's amazing. Just met a character that I know is important in Once Upon a Broken Heart, and that's simply because people who have read Once Upon a Broken Heart have told me that this character that I just met is important, and something just got revealed about him. Oh my gosh. It's gonna be so good, and I am loving it because I did not want to put this book down yesterday, and it is a pretty like chunky book. It's like 450 pages, I think. It goes by very quickly. It's a young adult book, so the words are big. So this one says, he tasted like exquisite nightmares and stolen dreams, like the wings of fallen angels and bottles of fresh moonlight. I'm sorry? That is beautiful. beautiful the way that she describes it. That is where we're at. Also, I didn't really tell you the plot. I just like ranted about the writing for 5 minutes. But so I can't really say too much because this is the second book in the series, but basically we are following a different point of view than we did for the first book. It's set in Caraval again, but the Caraval is set in a different place because they're going to celebrate the Queen Elentine's birthday. So Legend put on a special Caraval for the Queen that's only shortly after the last Caraval, which never really happens, usually only comes once a year. It's in this new setting, but they're still doing Caraval, and I feel like this has a lot more romance in it already than Caraval did. I feel like Legendary has a lot more romance undertones, probably because of the point of view that we're following. So yeah, we're just gonna keep reading it because I'm loving it. I love this book. We gotta underline that. Hello everyone, we finally finished Legendary. Okay, also they're doing like weed whacking right outside my window right now. So yes, we finished Legendary, which brings us to Ember's running around if you hear his little claws on the floor. I am so excited to talk about our books that we read in this continuing series on my TBR. I feel like it really did get me to read some more books that are on my monthly TBR. I'm just such a mood reader that I'm really happy we did this. The books that we read in this video were Bad Blood and 12, which is the novella, and brings us to the end of the Natural series. We attempted Midnight Sun. Honestly, I haven't read much more since I talked to you last. I'm only on chapter 7, Melody. It's just such dense writing, if that makes sense. It's just, I don't know, it's hard for me to get through. So I am happy that we picked up Legendary because I loved this second book in the Caraval series. Like, look at all these little quotes that we have. We have so many little tabs in here with all the little quotes that I love because Stephanie Garber's writing is just beautiful. I'm gonna start with Bad Blood and 12. I actually put this in my wrap up for the star ratings and I forget exactly what I rated them, but I'll put them right here. Bad Blood is the last novel in the Natural series, and then in the back of this book, which I didn't know, and when I flipped to the end and I saw acknowledgements, I was like, what? Because there was still so much left of the book. In the back of the Bad Blood book, after the acknowledgements, is 12, so I decided to read that too. It is a decent amount of pages. It's like 120, I think. I really liked that novella, and I really liked this ending. Like, I think I said it in the wrap-up before. I don't want to repeat myself too much. I'm going to keep it short, but that I feel like, even though I love the Natural series, I love the concept, I love the characters, and I love Jennifer Lynn Barnes' writing, I feel like I wish there was a little bit more to like the very ending of the book. The whole thing they've been working up to, and then it was sort of too short for me, so I wish that we just got more of that. I think that 12, the novella, was such a good novella in a series. It was the perfect ending, and it also left it open if she wants to continue the series on. I don't know if she's going to, but it also left it open a little bit for that. And it's just like a really good mystery thriller young adult series, so I highly recommend this one. Then we're talking about Midnight Sun. This is a book that we didn't finish. It's just kind of fun to go back into a world that you were so invested in when I was like in like middle school or whatever that age I was. Her writing is not bad, and I really like the quotes that she does include in here, but it's just hard for me to get through. So we only got to chapter 7, but that's still page 142. It's just like a thick book. And then finally we did Legendary. This is the second book in the Caraval series. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna give it 5 stars. The Weed Whacker is still going, but we are gonna talk about Legendary. It still takes place at Caraval, which I love. Caraval just in general. I love the whole setting. I love the whole magical element of it all, the descriptions of magic and everything like that. It didn't feel as much like a fever dream as Caraval did. We are in a different point of view. I guess maybe because I knew Caraval more, like I knew how it worked, and this character sort of knew how it worked more, that we were in the point perspective of. Like, it made more sense to me, and I didn't feel like I was in a fever dream all the time. And there was also more like of like a actual romance element in this. I think I said before when I read Caraval that there is like a romance element in that, but it's just weird because it's in the setting of Caraval. And even though this is in the setting of Caraval, it just felt more real to me in this. The romance aspect in this, I think, just hit so much harder for me. Like, it felt more like I could like believe it, which is, you know, up for debate in general. You read this and let me know. Can't wait to read Finale, which is the last book in the series. This writing is just so easy also to get through, and I just don't want to stop reading this as I'm reading it because I love the worlds of Caraval. I love Stephanie Garber's images that she draws. Also, what's really cool is there's this like annotated ending where she annotates and like talks about some of the things that she was going to do in like earlier drafts of the book for the last couple chapters, which I think was really cool. I love when authors have like little bonus content to get you a glimpse into like their minds and how they were when they were writing this. There's also a playlist in the back, and I really appreciate that. But I just love this series. I am so excited to read Finale. So yeah, those were our books that we read in this little video of continuing series that are on my monthly TBR to help us get through our monthly TBR actually and finish some series. So combining two really popular reading vlog topics that I like to do and just putting it all in one. I think that definitely Legendary was my favorite in this. Bad Blood is good, and Midnight Sun, I'm sure it's good. It's just that I'm not in the right mindset to read it like full through yet, but I will soon. But now we can check off the natural series of our series tracker, and we can check off another book of the Caraval series. That's exciting. Of course, when I'm done filming, the Weed Whacker is done. Whatever. Anyway, that is gonna be it from me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.